I'm just like panicking or just like super excited.
Yeah.
They're all like, it's gonna be fine. Yeah. It's this works like that. So I'm like the person who kind of I don't know how to say it even. It's like, yeah, I'm just like, wow, cool. This is also possible. All right.
Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Belgian Jasper. If this is your first time in the channel, hit subscribe right now.
Well, Lina, thank you so much for your time today, because it is quite hectic. It's a special week for you guys. Lots going on. So thank you so much for taking the time. The Church of Raw continues to expand with now yet another a band that is making quite a few waves already. Predatory Void is here. You must be extremely excited today. That's not because you get to talk to me, but because of a certain show that's coming up and a certain album coming out. You seem so calm right now. Is that just a facade and inside you're just kind of going crazy? Like, what's going on right now?
Oh, first of all, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure. Yeah, Roadburn is coming up, and the release of our debut album, 7 Keys to the Discomfort of Being, is coming up. And to be honest, I feel like I've had so much stress that now I feel nothing.
You're just dead inside. It's just...
No, I'm just like, whatever happens, you know?
Yeah.
I'm normally like a control freak, so in this case, I'm just like, you know what? Something's gonna happen, something's not gonna happen. Let's let it go a little bit, so...
Yeah. You mentioned it. Roadburn's coming up. It's tomorrow, right? The show. Yeah. So very few bands. Like, there's plenty of bands that do album release shows at a festival, especially a festival like Roadburn. But very, very few bands, you know, can release a debut album on Century Media to begin with. On a label like that, and then do that album release, and quite frankly, one of your first shows. I know it's not the first show, but one of the first shows at a festival like Roadburn. You say you are a control freak, and that probably means that you usually have plans and what have you. But are you surprised how fast things went for Predatory Void?
Yeah. Yeah, I am, because I'm used to like playing in punk bands, like very underground, and playing at squats and like half empty small clubs, or like a club on a mountain in Switzerland where only 2 people showed up, you know. So that's like my reality. And with this band, I mean, yeah, with people like Lennart and Tess being in the band, it's like it's already very big names in the at least in local music scene. So yeah, I mean, it's very big, it's very unexpected in a way, but it's just my perspective probably.
Now, you mentioned it already. A couple of specific people in the band obviously have that name of AMENRA to their resume. Everybody in the band has lots of experience that, you know, regardless of where they play. But are the people that have played in more successful bands or bigger bands, do they kind of coach the rest as well on like, hey, this is also for them a little crazy that, you know, Central Media picked you up straight away, Roadburn, the place where, like, you're not going to play Roadburn every weekend, right? Like, there are still going to be those shows, whether or not they're on the top of a mountain, where less people show up than you were hoping for, or what have you. Like, that, being ready for that and grounding yourself for that, needs to happen right now? Because otherwise you're gonna set yourself like strange expectations. Is that a conversation in the band, or do you all have enough experience to kind of keep reality?
Yeah, we actually try to manage our expectations together, because for me, I'm just like panicking or just like super excited. They're all like, it's gonna be fine. Yeah. It's this works like that. So I'm like the person who kind of I don't know how to say it even. It's like, yeah, I'm just like, wow, cool. This is also possible. All right. So I'm kind of following along, and if I can help in some things, like I have experience in other stuff in like social media management and like design and things like this. So we just kind of separated the fields between each other, and we really try to listen to each other when it comes to like a certain topic. Someone might say like, oh yeah, I know how this works because I've done this and this and this, and so we try to vote on every single aspect and see where it gets us. But we're really trying to take it as it goes, just like being chill about everything. I don't know, being stressed at this age, it's not as easy anymore.
Many of the band, if not all of the band members, are actively also involved in other projects or bands. And I'm sure you've had this question many times, so I apologize for asking you a question that you've heard before. But what does that make Predatory Void for you? Like, is this the start of a band with a journey ahead of you and a plan and a vision, or is this a project that is allowed to exist when other bands are not busy?
I would say that right now it's very much alive, in the sense that we're really trying to make plans for like the end of this year, beginning of next year. So it's really a real band. So we're not trying to be like, oh yeah, this Sunday I have some time, can we play a show?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Really planning ahead. We're trying to just be respectful of other schedules, that, yeah, okay, we could have like an option for a show on a certain date, but someone is not available. So yeah, you have to respect the plans that have been made before. But we are planning several shows that haven't been announced yet, but they're coming. So yeah, it's in the works for sure.
Yeah.
We're gonna be trying to play as many live shows as possible. That's our primarily goal right now.
So the first album, The 7 Keys to the Discomfort of Being, is going to be out soon. When we talk, it's in 2 days from now. So by the time people watch this video, it's probably already out. It's one of those albums that a lot of people are going to argue for a long time about what is it. Because it's very difficult to label you guys. Some people say like, well, yeah, it's predominantly Blackened Doom, but there's just as much post-metal as death metal in there. And then you said that you've got a punk history. Obviously, people that know Lennart know his hardcore roots as well. And there is quite a bit of hardcore in this album too, or a punkiness to it. Has the music that, because this started, if I understand correctly, mostly with Lennart writing a bunch of material, but with everybody else getting involved, then you bring your own identity to it. Has the music evolved a lot from Lennart's first ideas to where we are today?
Yeah, I would dare to say that, actually, because I think he said himself that like every single time now we gathered or when we were at the studio, we were pitching ideas constantly, and like when I listened to it, I realized that there is like part of each of us in it, and it's not you know, like a songwriter and a band.
Right, yeah. Hired musicians, yeah.
It's a really great reflection of all that we are together, all of us. Because like if we had a different drummer, it would have sounded less aggressive, less fast, I don't know, less technical.
Yeah.
I don't know, because Vincent is great in what he does. It's insane. Yeah, maybe if the singer was different, if like they had maybe a male singer and there were no clean parts, it would have sounded way different as well.
Yeah, for sure. And it's an album that keeps us on our toes as well, right? There's not only all the songs fit together as an album, but they're all different, and within each song there is that journey you take us on, right? Like the album opens with maybe a little bit more traditional doom, but once that Blackened influence all of a sudden kicks in, like it's clear that this is not, you know, a Candlemass album or anything like that.
I wish so.
Now, so let's talk about, like, you could play with Candlemass, and you could also play with, you know, you could play with a Behemoth or with a Testament or with Agnostic Front, because you have all these different, you know, influences. You fit in a lot of places, and so it will be interesting to see who, you know, you'll all be able to go out and support or have support you. Let's talk about you for a second, because you, as the singer, in order to seamlessly weave these different influences together, that means you have to be extremely versatile, especially when you're bringing this live. So is singing this material as challenging as it sounds, or does it come pretty natural to you?
I'll have to think about the right answer.
It's super easy. I can do anything. No problem. There you go. Easy.
But I've been playing in bands since I was like 18, and mostly I listened to like heavy music, and I really wanted to emulate the demonic sounds, we call it that. And I mean, I sang in a choir when I was very young, like I don't know, maybe 11, 12, I don't know, maybe younger. I don't know, I have no recollection of these times. And then I did like musical theater later in my singing career, if we could call it that. So I learned how to clean sing a little bit. I'm not gonna say I'm super good at this, but I can do some stuff with like harsh, distorted vocals. I've learned several techniques, but then I had to skip them because they were kind of damaging for my vocal apparatus. So what I'm doing now is quite natural to me.
Okay.
So I've had years to challenge myself and look for the right balance. And now, like, yeah, technique is the most important thing in these kind of things. And now, like, when you do warm-ups and cool-downs and you're pretty careful, it's actually easy.
Probably a similar journey for you in that other artistic passion that you have. You are also an established tattoo artist.
Well, thank you.
Is there, I mean, any discipline, you know, practice and learning how to do it and the technique, once you've got that and you don't have to think about that, then it all can appear very easy to be very creative, which I can imagine is very similar, you know, learning to make great tattoos as learning to sing a song. But, you know, has both of these journeys, you developing into a singer and you developing into a tattoo artist, are there other lessons that you've learned along the way that something you've learned in one that you can apply in the other?
Yeah, I could say, like, allowing yourself to make mistakes, even though in tattooing it's not the, you know,
your client might not appreciate it that much.
yeah, but you know, there are ways to make it okay. But yeah, like, prep work is very important, because when you actually have to perform
Mm-hmm.
this way or another, you really have to deliver. So prep work is like 80% at least, you know, and then you have to do a lot of reflection when you've done something. You have to really dissect everything you've done right and wrong. And it's very challenging, because you might really lose yourself in the process of dissecting what you're doing. And you might be at the point when it's like, yeah, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I just suck and I can't do anything right, and I hate myself and things like that. So I think I went through this kind of emotions, turmoils in both. How do you call it? In both spheres of my life.
You were, for a long time, it sounds like your own harshest critic, or...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but I'm trying to unlearn the toxic part of it. I'm trying to be like, oh, it's okay, you're gonna do better next time, don't worry.
Yeah.
A little bit.
And to bring us back to the start of our conversation, you saying like, well, you know, what happens tomorrow at Roadburn will happen. I'm gonna try not to get too worried about that, is an example of you. It's still not easy, I assume. Still hard to let go of that eagerness to control, or being worried about a lot of things you can't control.
The thing is, we mostly judge like other people very like mildly, and ourselves very harshly.
Mm-hmm.
And we allow other people to fuck up like on a daily, and be like, oh, but you know, it's just like a technical difficulty, or like, oh, but just this and that. Oh, they probably had a bad day, or like being tired or something. But we don't really allow ourselves to be tired, or have technical difficulties, and have things that are out of our control. So you need to like see the parallels,
Mm-hmm.
to notice it, and then chill a little bit, you know, on the critique. And with Roadburn, I'm gonna try to do my best, honestly. And they are rehearsing now, and I'm gonna join them in a bit. So we're really preparing and doing everything we can do. But of course, yeah, we'll see. I'm gonna hope for the best, but yeah, if something happens, I'm sorry, but you know.
This is the magic of live shows. There you go. The perfection of imperfection.
Sometimes you can see someone you really idolize fuck up 3 times on stage, and like, I had it with one band I really love, but I'm not gonna name names. And I knew every single note of the solo.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how long have you been playing guitar, please? You know? But at the same time, it's like, okay, but people are allowed to make mistakes, because in general, the show was great. And it was me, like a diehard fan, who was like, oh no. But then at the same time, I thought, oh, he's human.
When you were allowing yourself to get frustrated about 3 wrong notes, I'm sure there were other people next to you that were just rocking out and having a good time. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
There you go. So with that said, I wish you a fantastic show tomorrow. I'm super excited for it. It is a really cool album. We haven't even touched on like the fantastic cover art that you guys got on this album, which is just beautiful. I've seen so many people post on your socials like, where can we get like wallpapers and stuff like that. So I'm sure that at Roadburn, t-shirts and posters and all that kind of stuff will be available, and at all the shows that you guys are gonna announce soon. Lina, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. I won't take you longer, so you can join the team in those final preparations. And I definitely hope to see you guys on a stage soon, no matter where that is.
Thank you so much for the kind words. Thank you. It was a pleasure.
You are awesome for watching this video. Click right here to see more content like it and subscribe to the channel.